Open Your Eyes is brought to you by the Belize Bank. Our country, your bank.
Good morning and welcome to Open Your Eyes.
Start your morning right.
Start your morning right. Right indeed. I am April Martinez.
And I'm Paul Lopez.
And it is a wet Thursday. Very stormy. Belize City is a little flooded in certain areas. Yeah. It rained non-stop the entire time I was on the road. Just make sure that you are keeping calm and staying safe.
I had a hard time getting out of the house this morning into my vehicle. Because of the rain, and then a lot of Belize City streets, they're prone to flooding.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I noticed when I moved to Belize City. It's one of the things that I had to adapt to and adjust to, which is knowing the streets to drive, because there are certain streets that as soon as you get some rainfall, it begins to flood. You don't want to navigate your vehicle through flood waters, especially when
it's dangerous.
You're not aware of the height of the waters on the street at that point in time, as well as the fact that it could cause damage to your vehicle, unwanted damages. But last night, April, we in Belize City, we got a ton of rain. I had messages, people telling me, "You're sure this is now a hurricane, Paul?" Did we get any sort of advisory or warning about a hurricane? No, but we did.
Get flood warnings,
about flood warnings,
and thunderstorms.
We were advised about a tropical wave, in fact, that was passing along the country. And what we saw last night, and we'll get more from the weather services, but what we saw last night, we saw this tropical wave. We move in a northwest direction.
So we would get hit.
So what we saw, I'm sure that no part of the country was spared, but the north, the central part of the country, as I saw the images indicate, there you go, got the brunt of this. Now, when you look at that, it's a tropical wave.
Yeah.
That's the step before tropical storm. And when we reach tropical storm, that's when we begin to name these things.
Yeah.
What the concern is now, April, and this is over us at the moment, so this is the reason why we're feeling what we're feeling right now. The thing is that when this moves, it'll move through the country, it will go into Yucatan, Mexico.
That's
that we're talking about
anyway.
Chetumal, Cancun, and those areas. The concern is for countries above us, Mexico, the United States, and states within Mexico, is that when this reaches the Gulf of Mexico, is that the water may present the opportunity for it to develop into a tropical storm. And so we have to keep our eye out on this, because even when it develops into a tropical storm, there's bands around that weather system that could continue to affect us. But here on the ground in Belize City, this morning, we're definitely feeling the effects of that thunderstorm and rain last night.
We always talk about the different flood areas, especially in the south and so forth, and we kind of tend to forget the way the engineering is set up in Belize City. I'll never forget that. I always knew Belize City flood, I just didn't know how bad it was, and my first actual flooding experience here was, I think, in 2017 when I first started working in Belize City, and there were so many students that were calling and saying, "Miss, I can't come to class because it rained." And my first reaction was, okay, it's raining. But when I stepped into the city and I realized that there are waters up to my knees when you're talking about the city and the streets being flooded, I came to finally understood what they meant. So, if you're out there and you need to get going from point A to point B, just do your best to be safe, try your best to stay dry, have an umbrella with you. If you really can't make it to work, make sure that you inform somebody, but just be safe.
We saw also somewhere up north So those are images that we're receiving in real time, correct? So those are images of floodings from different places within the country. So I believe that's down south,
Up north.
north. Okay, Orange Walk. So that's what we're seeing from Orange Walk. April, look at that. Wow.
Yeah.
That
Yep.
chair, that wooden chair gives you kind of a
Perspective
gauge
of
or a
how-
perspective
yeah.
of how high the water is in Orange Walk. And so these people had to weather
Evacuate.
this type
Yeah,
of
and try their best
flood throughout.
You see all of the stuff that are trying to get up on higher places so that, you know, they might get the chance to save some of these
So
equipment.
this is-
Look at that.
This is a testament to what I said just now
Yes.
about the North getting the brunt of this. We also saw a highway video from
Yeah.
the Philip Golson Highway. I understand it's somewhere on, we shared it on our Facebook page there earlier this morning, that some viewers, because viewers send it to us just to say that motorists should be aware or should be cautious of
Yeah.
an area along the Philip Golson Highway near Biscayne, where it appears that a portion of the shoulder of the highway has been washed away.
Yeah.
I think it appears to me from what I saw that it's a culvert, another culvert being compromised along the highway. I don't know how much effect that will have on the actual highway itself in terms of the tar and the asphalt road.
Well, we
but
know that they were repairing that road and they were trying their
Right,
best
so
to finish
even
before the rainy
repairs
season
continue
started.
in that area as far as I understand. And so that's another area we're asking motorists to be aware of when they're traveling this morning.
We will try our best to keep you updated as the show rolls around and try our best to try to get people online who we can see, who can speak to, and continue to give you that weather update. And of course, we'll have the folks from the Met Service to give us the general situation for the day. But in other news, and I know that we don't have a lot of time, but I do really want to share this quickly. I received a message early this morning at around 1 a.m. From a past student of mine that University of Belize student was robbed, stabbed, and then he eventually succumbed to his wounds and died. And this happened in Belmopan yesterday night after classes had presumably been over. He was walking along one of those famous streets that connect you from, you know, City Central to
Downtown,
UB, right, to downtown.
Right.
And this is around Oriole Street. There are not a lot of updates yet. It's still very fresh. The identity of the person has not been revealed. But you know what? Why I'm trying to make a statement out of this.
Make a statement, April. You're from Belmopan, and you know the situation there. With
School
that
just
area.
started. It hasn't even been a week. It hasn't even been a week. We just started to go back face to face. We weren't like some of the high school and primary schools that were kind of going off and on blended. No, we were online. Students were actually excited to come back face to face to campus for the first time. And it's not just an old or a past. This is an 18-year-old. This is somebody that just graduated high school and they start their tertiary level education. So I don't know what transpired. I don't understand what the situation out there is, but please, please, please be safe. That particular area, that Oriole Street area, it doesn't have a lot of lighting, you know, and that is something that we have to continue to discuss. But it has been that way for a very long time. That particular area, we often hear of
April,
robbery and so, and I know you want to share your story.
no,
as
well, I
but-
was just going to say clearly, we know what happened. It was an attack.
Yeah,
This student was attacked,
yeah.
and he lost his life.
I don't even know what the purpose of robbing a university student would be, because they don't have anything for you to rob.
The Belmopan residents have been clamoring for over a decade to
More.
have, or more, to have areas along these trafficked paths lit.
Yep.
And more so that increased police security patrols be established within these areas. I will say that we've seen efforts over the years to light the place as well as to patrol the area, but I don't know. You see how things happen in Belize, where one moment you have it like as a reaction, as a response to an incident, and then when we feel like we have it under control, we pull back. And criminals are strategic as well.
I mean, we've had incidents closer to the campus, and we've had, but never to the extent where the person lost his or her life.
Right. So in just briefly, I've had a similar incident where in 2010, at the age of 18 as well, I was walking from UB along the same stretch of walkway, from the Belmopan Comprehensive School to the police station. It was at night. I had finished classes and I was headed home. I lived in Kamaloti at the time, and I saw 3 young men behind me walking, and they looked normal. And so I kept walking, and I looked back again, and I saw them a lot more closer than they were supposed to be. So I kept walking, and the third time I looked back, they were on me. So 2 of them held me in that area, and the third one, he took an ice pick and he stabbed me to the side. That's when I fell to the ground. And when I fell to the ground, this same one with the ice pick, he pulled out a firearm and he pointed it to my face. He had a rag on, and he's like, "Tonight you are dead." In those very words, "Give me all you got." And but what could I have? I'm an 18-year-old unemployed
struggling
UB student. Sir, what you want? You want my books? You want my pen? I sure you know I use any of it.
I mean, if they know what you got, you'd have loved to know.
Right. I had a Nokia phone at the time as well, one of the indestructible ones. Not to make a joke out of a serious matter, but in a foolish but brave act, I pulled the rag off of his face while he was up close with the gun to my face. Because I wouldn't dare pull the gun, I pulled the rag. I was like, all right, if tonight that my last night,
you want at least identify
who. And I saw the face, and I knew the face. I knew the voice. I knew the person's name. So I shouted out his name, and I pleaded my case to him. And he was like, all right, just give me everything you have and roll out. So I gave up my possessions. Like, you're serious? In my mind, like, question, all right, this really happened? I really just talked my way out of this situation.
But your adrenaline rush because you were already injured.
And I left. I didn't go to file a report. I ran straight to the bus terminal, April, and I just wanted to get out of Belmopan City.
Wow.
It's sad to see that a decade and more later, that a UB student who is the same age of what I would have been at that time lost his life under the same circumstance. That could have been me.
It's just that, you know, robberies have been reported in that same area, cases of assault, you know, and I'm just trying to figure out where we are in terms of progress. If what happened to you 10 years ago is still happening, not 12 years ago, sorry, kind of old.
Right.
That could still happen to somebody today, and of course to a more serious detrimental outcome. I don't know what we're doing. And that, you know, we've had so many cases, and we come here, we talk about them, and I just want solutions. You know, what more can be done? What is it that you need in order to maybe make that particular area you know, a little bit more open so that more public can see it. It's more safe. Put some lights, cut down some of the trees. I know that nobody wants to cut down trees, but maybe trim them so that you're able to see through them a little bit better. I don't know. It's just such an unfortunate event all around, and you know, our condolences go out to the family and the friends of the individual, and I guess we'll have more on that
in our newscast
tonight. But just to end this whole thing on a more positive note, congratulations are in order, Paul. Yeah. We talked about where you were 12 years ago versus today. You are here,
right, receiving
your many awards. So one is for the financial literacy story, journalism. And I don't forget the next one.
And the next one is for Best News
Best
Item.
News.
So our news team, Great Police Production, we were able to garner a total of 9 awards at the Caribbean Broadcasting Union's Caribbean Media Awards. That's which was held on Tuesday night on the island of Tobago, of course, Trinidad and Tobago. This included a wide variety of wins from, there you go, financial literacy journalism. We had a Best News Item. We received an award for reporting on disability.
Best videographer.
That's Marian Ali, as well as Darrell Mogel. We saw an award go to Dwayne Moody for his investigative piece. He received an award for investigative journalism. We saw an award to Chris Mangar, who received an award for Best Videographer. And I could continue listing, but I don't want to miss any. But just to say that we here are very proud of the achievements we've been able to accomplish because of the hard work that we know we've put in on a day-to-day basis. But I'll tell you, April, this was a competition amongst countries from across the region. We saw countries like Colombia take home awards. They took home 2 awards. We saw Trinidad and Tobago take home awards. We saw Jamaica take home awards as well.
I mean, honestly, it shows testimony to the great amount of talent and hard work that we have here in Belize. And, you know, I give you your kudos because I know it was your first time entering and then you won. So it shows, this is a testimony to the hard work that everyone here in this entire building puts out. You know, and I know that next year, and I'll probably bring home more because that is always the objective, to work harder, to do better, and of course, this is your award for it. So congratulations.
Thank you, and we also here on Open Your Eyes want to congratulate all the nations across the region that were awarded. It shows that journalism, that reporting is alive and well within the Caribbean, one, and that two, we are quite capable of telling our own stories.
In our own way, culturally. I love it. And with that, we are going to continue on our show for this morning with our eye-opener. And our eye-opener is taken from dailyom.com. And it goes like this. We are human. We are family. We all look at the same stars. We all laugh and cry. We all love. When it comes to our families, we sometimes see only our differences. We see the way our parents cling to ideas we don't believe or act in ways we try not to copy. We see how practical one of our siblings is and wonder how we can be from the same gene pool. Similarly, within the family, the human family, we see how different we are from each other in ways ranging from gender and race to geographical location and religious beliefs. It is almost as if we think we are different species sometimes. But the truth is, in our personal families, as well as the human family, we really are the same. Acknowledging how close we all are instead of clinging to what separates us enables us to feel less alone in this world. We are truly not alone. We also begin to see that we are perfectly capable of understanding and relating to people who, on the surface, may seem very different from us. We begin to understand that we must treat all people for what they are, family. I love this eye-opener.
Tell me.
Yeah, I think that we kind of tend to cling to what truly separates us. Indeed, we kind of look at the things that are so different because those are what is most obvious. But at the end of the day, sometimes we come here, we talk about other eye-openers, and then we kind of, at the end of the conversation, come to the conclusion that everybody is just trying to be human in some kind of aspect, and that is what makes us the same. So for instance, we're both here on this morning show. We're dressed differently. Of course, we're different people, you know, different walks of
gender.
life, different genders, different ethnical groups and backgrounds and so forth. But we both share the same ideas in the terms of we want the show to go well. We are both kind of nervous, but also excited to be here at the same time. We are both anxious about the weather, and we're both going to go out there and do our utmost best to carry out our work for today. And I think that if we tend to stick to that kind of behavior and those kinds of positive attitudes that make us similar, you start to shed out the things that make us different. And stop thinking about that.
There's I get a bit biblical here, Bill, but quickly, there's a verse within the good book that says, when it rains on the just and the unjust.
Oh, shucks.
Simply to say that when it rains, all of we get wet.
Okay.
Right? So there's no difference, like the rain doesn't separate between male. Today I want wet males, tomorrow I wet females, or today I want wet the poor, tomorrow I want wet the rich. It does not specify when the rain falls. If you're under the water, you get wet. And I say that to say, if we look at the human race, if we look at people around us the same way, to say that when we're all humans and we all fit in this one basket, and sometimes even in our family, in our households, we tend to want to distinguish or set apart. But when you look at your brother, when you look at your sister, when you look at your mother and your dad, and you realize, you know what? All of their people are just like me. They put on clothes every day. They go out there every day. They try and make one life and they try and make a living. They get wet under the same rain where they get wet. When I did that, Belize City, they sweat, and then they're up and they're still sweating at the same sun, you know?
I like that. We're all humans under the same sun. And you know what else we experience together right now?
The rain.
The rain. But we just missed the call. Bring it back. So, no, while we're getting our folks from the Met Service, you're absolutely correct. We're all just trying to human in the same way. We all have dreams and aspirations. It's just the approach that is different. But regardless of that, we are all humans trying to human. And now I use a try human, forget back the weather people on the line so that we can talk more about the weather for today. But at the end of the day, I hope that we will be safe with this storm. I need to get back to Belmont Pond. I just realized that. I have class.
Okay.
So I have to go home. So I hope that the weather clears up.
Well, there's no, you can't, I wouldn't bet on it. That's
You're not bet on it?
I wouldn't put my money on it, at least not until later on today. And I'm sure that's what the weather people will tell us.
And I hope somebody that watched that then could understand that the weather is going to be bad, so I might just be stranded here for the next few hours. Oh gosh, we missed the call, Paul. We missed the call.
Oh, we're gonna get it back. We're gonna get it back right now.
Yeah.
But I was moments ago sent more images of that situation that I made mention of on the Philip Golson Highway in the Biscayne, rural Belize area, just to say that authorities are on the ground right now and that they are assessing the situation and they are seeking. So that's what we saw earlier.
Yeah.
That's what I was talking about earlier in terms of what's happening right now in that area. And so that's that's in Crooked Tree. So I understand that's Crooked Tree, that the Crooked Tree area is under severe water.
Wow.
So I'm receiving information right now that some families are actually currently in shelter when we're talking about the Crooked Tree Village and Crooked Tree area. This is incoming news at this point in time, and that there is a huge sinkhole somewhere in Biscayne. And so this is the information that I'm receiving. In fact, we have the NEMA coordinator for the Belize Rural, Mr. Lionel Smith. He's actually on his way to Crooked Tree right now, April, to continue to evacuate some families. So that's the seriousness of the situation right now in Belize
Yeah.
rural, where families at 7 a.m. this morning are being evacuated, while some had to be placed in shelters throughout last night. And then again, there's a huge sinkhole in Biscayne, where authorities, you'll see as you approach it, because outside it's still not fully clear, the sun is not up.
Yeah.
So you'll see as you approach it, you'll see sirens.
Okay.
You'll see the lights, the flashing lights, and that will indicate to you in the Biscayne village that you're approaching this huge sinkhole. I don't know at this time if it's possible, but I can tell you that it is being addressed, and when you get there, you'll be able to
Are they
get an
able to
update.
cross? None.
So I can't tell you that as
Okay.
yet, but I can tell you that in Crooked Tree, it's so severe that because of the causeway and how that causeway often floods, that they'll need to get over by boat. And so that's one of the situations out there in Crooked Tree. These folks, Mr. Lionel, will be joining us later on in the show to give us an update on the situation out there in Crooked Tree. And so that's one of the things we'll look forward to. We'll keep you updated on what transpired. But we'll give you a bit of the weather.
The updates will be coming in as the show continues
so the
going along.
updates
It
on
seems
that.
that everyone is out trying to, all hands on deck to make sure that everything is
Yeah.
running smoothly. So later on in the show, we're going to keep you updated and to make sure that you're staying safe. But please, if you need to travel this morning, today, or anytime, try your best to be safe. Look at the weather updates. Look at the websites to find out more information about that. So we'll get moving into our show for today, and we need to, we have a long
We have a
rundown
long
for
show, so
this morning.
Want to get
So-
into it, April?
Yes, we got to get into it. And our first conversation will be with the members of the BSCFA. They will be joining us to inform the public about the ongoing negotiations of the commercial agreement with BSI-ASR.
And
So-
they're from up north, so maybe they'll give us an update.
Yeah,
on
they
what
could give us
saw
an update.
happening there. We also have representatives from Pukte Villas who will be joining us to tell us about the Pukte Property Expo. I'm excited about that one. Had a brief conversation with the proprietors yesterday and day before, just to kind of get an idea of what they're doing. And it's an exciting stuff for Belizeans looking to own their own property.
Lovely. And then our final conversation this morning, it's pageant season.
Yeah,
we
let's
just
bring some
had
sunshine inside.
Miss Belize, Miss Universe Belize was last week, and now this week we're going to be talking all about the Queen of the Bay pageant. So the reigning Queen of the Bay, along with the 2022 contestants, will be joining us on the show to tell us all about the upcoming Miss Queen of
Don't
the
you just
Bay.
love pageant season, April?
Yes. Oh, we have the update. They're on.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I know the weather is calling and everybody is busy, but we would like the general update for today. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good, thank you.
All right. So give us the general situation.
Okay, well, there's a tropical wave over our area at the moment, producing all this rainfall, but it should move away later today.
All right. And the 24-hour forecast?
Okay, for today then, we can expect cloudy to overcast skies with some showers, thunderstorms, or periods of light rain, mostly over central and northern districts this morning, with showers decreasing by this evening.
And
Tonight
wind?
will be cloudy at times with a few showers or thunderstorms, mainly over the south.
Okay. And our highs and lows for today?
Okay, high temperatures, 85 along the coast, 88 inland, 78 up in the mountains. The lows for tonight, 80 Fahrenheit over the coast, 73 inland, 68 up in the hills.
And what about our winds?
Okay, winds easterly to southeasterly, 10 to 20 knots. We stay choppy. We have a small cloud caution, however, for gusty winds and locally rough seas near heavy showers and thunderstorms. We also have a flood warning in effect for today for flood-prone and low-lying areas, especially over central and northern areas, and the strong thunderstorm watch that was issued yesterday remains in effect.
Okay.
Let's talk a bit about at what time did we begin to experience these rainfalls thunderstorms last night. When did this tropical wave make
Hit us.
landfall?
Well, the wave is presently crossing, so it crossed. It started last night, and it is moving over us right now, and should move away later today.
So we're talking about perhaps clear skies later on tonight?
Tonight, no, not really clear. Cloudy at times with a few showers over the south, a few showers or thunderstorms, that is. So not clear skies tonight, but definitely less rainfall much less than what we had last night.
Have you been able to ascertain the amount of rainfall at this point in time that certain areas experienced?
Last night, 4 to 6 inches.
Wow.
4 to 6 inches over most areas except for Toledo. They got much less.
That's
For the first time in the South. Can you
One of
give
the
us
few times.
yes? Can you give us the outlook for tonight, for Friday and Friday night?
Okay, for Friday and Friday night, mainly fair weather with only isolated showers or thunderstorms.
So we
So a
can
big
hope-
improvement tomorrow.
Okay, we can hope that by tomorrow everything is starting to simmer down a little bit.
Just to get a brief understanding, when we say 4 to 6 inches of rain, we're talking about certain areas definitely being flooded, right? Like homes being flooded and persons being affected in different communities across the north and central Belize.
Right, and even the south, because they were getting rains yesterday morning, no, during the day. So places like Silk Grass, I think, got about 6 inches in the last 24 hours. I remember they were flooded recently too.
Yes.
So definitely, we haven't gotten any reports specific about flooding here yet, but I'm sure that some areas are flooded.
Wow. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Redon, for giving us that update, and we will be checking in for more updates as the day goes by.
Okay, you're welcome.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Well, there you have it, folks. Please try your best to be safe. It seems that the entire country is under watch. So stay dry, stay updated. And we're going to take our first break. And when we get back, the Belize Sugarcane Farmers Association. So stay tuned.
Hola usuario de eCash, la aplicación eCash está disponible en español. Cambiar el idioma de tu aplicación de eCash de inglés a español es rápido y sencillo. Déjame mostrarte cómo se hace. Primero, abre tu aplicación eCash. Introduce tu PIN. Toca el icono More en la parte inferior de tu pantalla. Selecciona Security. Selecciona Language. Y luego selecciona Spanish. Vuelve a introducir tu PIN y ya está. Tu aplicación de eCash está ahora en español y puedes seguir disfrutando de tu cartera digital eCash. La aplicación eCash de Belize Bank te hace la vida más fácil.
Make your summer better. Over $35,000 in cash and prizes with Smart Summer Sweepstakes. Here's how you can enter for a chance to win. Purchase any device, sign up for a smart postpaid, broadband, or VoIP plan, use $50 or more regular prepaid credit, do a SIM swap, or text to the short code. You win 8946. And in the body of the message, enter the number of entries you would like to purchase. Each entry costs only 50 cents.
Don't waste any time. You can be the winner of weekly prizes starting July 1st. All methods give you more chances to win airline tickets, overnight stays at numerous resorts, cash prizes, gift certificates, and much, much more. One lucky person will win the grand prize of a $10,000 shopping spree courtesy Court and Smart.
Promotion ends September 16, 2022. So make your summer better by getting in the race to win with Smart Summer Sweepstakes. Smart, bringing people together.
for your favorite KTV contestant by texting the number of votes followed by a space, then your contestant's number, and send it to Smart Code 5885. Here are this week's contestants.
The smile on your face lets me know that you need me. There's a truth in your eyes saying you'll never.
Oh, and he don't know that I dug my key into the side of his pretty little souped-up four-wheel drive. How my
They said, I bet they'll never make it, but just look at us holding on.
Never felt a feeling quite this strong. I can't believe how much it turns me on just to be your man.
Remember, voting ends on Sunday at midnight. And don't forget to tune in every Tuesday, live, only on 5.
All right, and we're back with our first conversation for the morning. We have our cane farmer folks from up north. We're talking about members of the Belize Sugarcane Farmers Association. Mr. Andy Westby, the chairman of the BSCFA Committee of Management, Mr. Javier Keme, who's the BSCFA Finance Committee chairman, as well as Mr. Oscar Alonso, the BSCFA CEO. Gentlemen, we've had you guys on Open Your Eyes a few times. We've also had you air your stories out on the newscast several times. But when it relates, as it relates to the negotiations, ongoing negotiations between BSCFA and the ASR BSI, The last place we left off with the negotiations, if I remember correctly, was at the height of a dispute, the height of a protest, which in December of 2021, which then led to some easing of tensions when it appeared that if an agreement was made to negotiate and to have a negotiation by the end or before the end of the sugarcane season. The sugarcane season has come to an end. Where are we with those negotiations?
Okay, good morning, and thank you for having us this morning, right? As you know, the crop ended on the 29th of July, no?
Did.
Yes.
And I think 2 days later, you had the extension to the commercial agreement also came to an end. So
Yes.
currently, the Belize Sugarcane Farmers Association does not have a commercial agreement with BSI. We are still in the process of trying to finalize a new agreement for the coming crop, no? It has not been an easy process, as you know. Incidents or events led up to that series of activities in December and for the extension, and we had hoped that between the period January to now we would have had a new agreement in place. And we still have the same proposals that we had put forward at the beginning, which are 5, right? The matter of how we want to negotiate how the price of cane is being paid, how it is calculated, how it is being paid, how the price of bagasse is being calculated. Also, we're trying to insert a clause in there that commits BSI to daily grinding rate that would benefit cane farmers. And finally, the aspect about the length of the agreement. Those are still our proposals. And BSI has still been adamant during this whole period that is not prepared to negotiate any clause that implies a transfer of value, and even is sticking to the fact that the minimum period is 7 years. So we are at a point where it's practically like a stalemate. We have asked the intervention of the government. I think you have heard about the news, where we met with the Prime Minister, and the Prime Minister gave certain commitments, right, that would enable the process to be completed before the end of the new crop. I think a binding committee has been given for us to get an independent consultant to come in and mediate the process, right? Because we found that further discussions is not leading us anywhere. It's time for an independent consultant to come in. The government has committed to have that consultant in place.
We understand that you have a presentation.
Yes,
you prepared to kind of give us an insight into what
yes, but I was just trying to update you where we are at the moment, right?
Okay.
So that then, within that context, the presentation can be given.
Right.
And also, the Prime Minister has committed to speak to the bankers, right, to ensure that they continue to provide credit to our members, right, for them to prepare for the next crop. I will invite Mr. Kemet to go into that exactly where we are with our proposal for the calculating the price of the cane, right, and so on.
Mr. Kamen?
Okay, good morning, Paul, and good morning, April, and your viewers. We have a presentation. The presentation is an exercise, an analysis that we did on how the current system has been harmful to or on a disadvantage to the farmers over the years. We did a history study, an analysis from the crop 2006 to the present, and we can show in the chart, in the graph, a table how over the years the portion that the farmer is getting or has been getting is being shrinking, is being getting smaller and smaller over the years, and much worse in a higher pace.
Go ahead.
In a higher pace over the 4-5 years, the last 5 years. So that is where we concentrated the analysis, analyzing the current system, how the current model has been at a disadvantage to the farmers. And we can show with that table the evidence that the amount that the farmer used to get before 2017 was an average of 53, 54, up to 55% of the total proceeds of the sales of sugar and molasses. And in the last 5 years, it have shrunk to under the 50%. Last year, it was 49%, and it has been in 1 year 48%. So we have been losing over the years 5 to 6% of the total revenues. And where in the analysis we did, where is this percentage being accommodated? It's being accommodated in a series of deductions that is done, and these deductions is the provider for these services is the Belize Sugar Industries Limited, or is the mill itself. So it goes back to the portion. Remember that we have a current model of 65-35 of the net strip value. So when we have the gross proceeds, there is a series of deductions that is deducted for export, and some other charges, some other deduction that has been added these last years, which is part of the processing cost. So this has been increasing before 2017 from an average of 14-15% to 25% of the total revenues.
Wow.
So that is the percentage that has been worrying the farmers, because all the cost of production prices have been increasing over the years, especially these last years, and the portion that is remaining from the net strip value model has been shrinking.
So when we're talking about net strip value, just to be clear, we're talking about the amount that is divided between farmers and the company after expenses have been deducted. So that's a 65, 40, 35 model, right? And so where is this additional, you're saying a jump from 14% to 25% thereabout in processing expenses. Where is that going? Or has the company been able to account to you in terms of why you've seen that increase?
Well, it's been accommodated on the portion that is being given as services from the mill.
New services, additional services, an increase in price for these services?
One. The new one is the manufacturing allowance. That is a new one in this last agreement that expired in January, that was signed in 2015. That component started to form part of the deductions. It wasn't before.
I want to come back to the negotiation process, because you have your proposal laid out. You're saying these are the numbers, this is what we need, this is why we need it. What is then the follow-up from BSI ASR? What are they counteracting with?
The last communication we've had with them is basically an offering of two options. The first option will be the continuing of the current model with the insertion of one clause. And the clause they are offering as an addition is that we, BSEFA, could hire an independent auditor to verify the figures that the auditor of BSI has done. So that's option one. The option two is that they accept our formula, our proposal, which is the 60-40 from the gross revenues, and but there is a series of implementation changes, how they would implement. It's not a direct 60-40 split from the gross revenue.
How are they proposing?
Two main changes. One is that the direct consumption sugar, they would be paying it as raw. That is an average of $400 Belize per ton less. So, and that is one of the biggest differences. The next difference is that they would still want to include some costs. And because you know that they are changing the transportation from the sugar from the system they had before to the barges, now they are using the road by trucks, and they have some other costs that they would be encountering, which is the port in Big Creek, the transloading. So there are additional fees that they would be facing.
Do you guys believe that you're being unreasonable in your ask to ASR, BSI, given the numbers that you've put on the table, as well as the numbers I understand that they've put on the table?
The thing is, we're not being excessive, right? All we're asking for is that we want a fair price to be paid for our cane. Now, to establish a fair price, right, you have to be clear on what the costs are really, right? And there are two fundamental costs that Mr. Kemi has raised. The one is local handling, which deals with the whole issue of transporting the sugar to the port from which it will be exported. That has been a sort of a stone around the neck of the industry for years because of the high cost it was incurring with barges to Belize City, right? And it was hoped that a cheaper way could have been found, right? Now, it is hoped that this move to Big Tree could have been a cheaper way, but apparently they have said that it costs more to them by road than by barge, right? But they're going to absorb that additional cost as a sign of good
standing
with the farmers, right? And the other issue is the allowance that he has mentioned, right? The manufacturing allowance, which is fine. I mean, they say if there's a cost, okay, fine, it has to be covered. But the thing is that we have not been able to get from BSI is how they have arrived at those costs and the proof, because they are the ones that establish the cost of and they pay themselves that cost, right? Okay, so all we're given is that one sheet, as Mr. Kemi mentioned, the net strip value. This is the cost, that's it, and we have to pay it. But we don't have no access as to verify to make sure that those costs are really beneficial economical, right? Okay, so that's all we're asking for. But then they have proposed that they will give us the right to hire an auditor to audit the figures. Now, before you audit a figure, you have to make sure that those figures are correct, that you agree with them. So that when you come and audit it, then you're auditing that's something that you have agreed that is fair, right? And this is where we disagree then. It's
Fundamentally, you're saying you don't agree with the figures.
We don't agree because we're not able to verify it, okay? What we need is verification, because the fact is that we pay 65% of those costs, right? We are the ones that cover 65%. They only cover 35%. So by virtue of that 65 coverage, we feel that we have the right to see how you are, what basis you are putting for incurring those costs, not just telling us.
So
right?
then what are the figures that they have provided look like to you? You said they want to give you a sheet of paper.
Well, they have claimed that certain savings will be made, right? Okay, and they put it to ocean freight. The boat will be here 5 days instead of 20 days, and because of that, then there would be $2.5 million worth of saving, and the farmers will be getting a benefit. But they have inserted another charge to that element, which is terminal and handling fees, and we don't know what that will be. At the moment, they have said that okay, that is just there for as a sort of nomenclature, right? You know, you're naming a cost, okay? But this has been their practice. They have put in names of costs and eventually they attribute it. Once you sign an agreement, you're stuck, right? So you have to accept it. What they're saying, okay, let us, and in fact is when they are applying their formula, the 60-40 formula, they are already attributing a cost to that same charge. So they're saying, on the one hand, they're saying, right, if you stick to the NSV and so on, that charge is there, but we're not going to be putting any figure for it. But if you want us to apply the 60-40, then this charge will have to have this. So you need to be clear.
What needs to be explained now for the viewers to understand? That there are certain expense that needs to be analyzed, whether that should be under the processing expense. Because the more expense you have after deducting of those expense, the portion that stay is reducing, and it's reducing drastically on the side of the farmer. And on the side of the miller, it is increasing because that expense that is being spent or charged goes back to the miller, whilst on the farmer side, over the years, is going reduced. And the more expense you put, the more it reduces on the farmer side. So that is why we have done our investigation in different factories and also in Santander. So we are analyzing the thing on a whole that over the years this has been the norm of putting investment on an expense, while that should be on your 35%. So what I want to show, the farmer invests on their 65 in the millions, but we don't put it on our overhead expense to recover that expense.
So
we bear that risk. So that is something we are trying to explain to the public, that in 2015, when we give up the ownership of the cane, after it weighs, that becomes BSI's property. There in the agreement states how payment is being done, no? But why should we spend in something that is not ours. That is BSI's factory. Just like the farmer, they spend on their trucks, we don't put it and recover for their expense. So that is something we are trying to explain why this negotiation, it's not an easy negotiation, but it has to be based on a transparency to way forward, the way forward, right?
Do you feel, go ahead, sorry.
The charges have to be really studied where they should be accommodated.
Right.
Because this is the disadvantage that have been over the years over the farmers, and that is something we are open to negotiate, but on their side, they look at it as a transfer of value, which is not. Right? That is why whatever transfer of value, they don't want to negotiate. But if you sit down and analyze each thing that you are charging, which 65% is being paid by farmers, and accommodate where there needs to be accommodated, then the reality will come out.
A transfer of value simply means that they're processing the cane and they're giving you sugar, and then that's
a transfer of value. They interpret it as the any amount of cash that doesn't go into their portion anymore. They deem it as a transfer of value. So I mentioned that in analysis we did from 2006 to the present, we can see that value was on the farmer's portion, but over the years it was transferred to the mill side over the years. So what we are calling for is that value should come back to where it should be, or where it was before, right? So and it got worse after ASR came into the picture, right? When ASR bought the mill in 2012, we can see that the trend of reducing the portion of the farmer is more evident, right, over the last years. So that's why the proposal of BSCFA is a simpler formula. It's a very simple, it's a direct split 60-40, and we expected that the negotiation would be that they would come negotiating the percentage. You know, we can't work with 40%. Because of our cost, this and this, we need over more than 40%. So we thought that was going to be the negotiation, but as I mentioned to you, the second option was that they accepted the 60-40, but with their implementation, with their ways of implementing it, which results in the same or worse than the current system. When you move those figures, you run. There are two major risks that the viewers have to understand. The first risk is that when you value a direct consumption sugar, a good paid specialty sugar, you pay it as a raw sugar, that is a cost, a value of more than $400 per ton. Less, right? If you take into account that the investment that they did of $22 million in 2017 was to expand the volume of production of direct consumption sugars, which means that volume will be increasing. It was around less than 10,000 at that time. It has been to 35,000, like this crop year we just finished. We reached 35,000. And their target is to reach 50,000. So that means there is a room for 15, 20,000 more tons to 1,000 tons to be produced in the coming years, right? So that means that the gap or the loss for the farmers getting paid for that volume at a cheaper price, it's going to be more severe damage for the farmers. So what we don't want to happen is that the farmers, we accept this model, and then the coming next 3-4 years, that comes to show that it plays against the farmers. Then they would say, well, that's what your leaders were fighting for. And that's not what we are fighting for. So what we are fighting for is a straight split from the gross.
So then let's talk about what the farmer makes on the per dollar investment. What does the farmer make out of a dollar that it invests?
It varies, and I will put it simply this way, Paul. To do a maintenance cost for a farmer That maintenance cost, that is, you have the cane planted, it's ratoon. You just have to do the cultivation, the spraying, the cleaning, fertilizing, and what's not. Removing the planting. That is around $25 to $27 per ton. And it costs you an average of $30 per ton, an average of $30 per ton to harvest it and put it to the mill. So you are in an average of $52 to $55 at cost on maintenance cane. Now, if you are going to plant, that increase tremendously.
I want to get more into, so that is the average farmer, but what about the small farmers, businesses? So you always have the farmer that has their family that works within that same category, right? What does their salary look like?
Well, you put the numbers. Right now we have an estimate of $60 per ton.
Okay.
If you are spending on, that's, you're not replanting any, just maintenance. You have your cane established, right? You're living with $8, an average of $8 per ton. That's your profit. That's your net profit, we would call it. So that $8 per ton, you put the cost of a family life for an year. What's an average? 10,000, 12,000. So how much tons you need to get that amount, to call it a living from the cane farming? So we have seen this. We have changed the way the farmer used to see it as a living, as a culture. Now we are seeing it as a business, what we are investing in our production, right? So that is what, when you do your investment, you take into account all the factors, the components of your work. That is in the farm, investment in the farm, investment in equipment, investment in infrastructure, roads.
So it's safe to say that the negotiations are still ongoing. There's no conclusions to be met as yet, and it is also safe to say that certain parties will not budge, and therefore now you have certain parties coming to you in the situation of a lawsuit. So I want to kind of go into.
Well, I think if you allow me, if you allow me, I would just want to make a comment on the participation of the government responsibility in this. All of the disadvantages on the farmer side that we explained just before is because of the result of the 7-year agreement signed in 2015, right? And that was because we approached the government to intervene in the negotiation in 2015, but the government preferred to stand by.
Abstain.
Exactly, and the conditions put forward by the mill was successful. So when that happened, that triggered us that it's taking the same path. The negotiation is taking the same path. So we approached this administration and asked them what will be their position. Will it be the same as the past administration, or they will take, because I think the farmers expect a clear position from the government. And we had a meeting a couple of weeks ago, which the CEO explained on the outcomes of it.
So what? So we're wrapping up.
The thing is, there are several factors affecting this negotiation, right? And I think the company realizes that it doesn't have a government that is amenable to their suggestions, right? It's a government that is not inclined to see how it could put a balance in the system. So what happened? They have taken a lawsuit against the BCFA and 4 of its members, right, for approximately $1.6 million.
To what end?
Because for claiming financial losses, right? BSI claiming financial losses because they couldn't produce the sugar that in those days. Belcogen claiming financial losses because they could not get the bagasse to produce electricity to sell to BL. Okay, and this lawsuit is being filed against us and 4 members of our association. Fortunately, before we signed that agreement extension last December, we got a commitment from the government of Belize that if in the event that we were being taken to
Sued.
court by BSI, they would deal with it, right? And they are
Okay.
dealing with it right
Okay.
now. Okay. Only this thing that BSI made a mistake, right? They made a file a wrongful claim against one of our members who was not there, and they had to admit that they wrongfully made a
Claim.
legal claim, and they have withdrawn it, and we have accepted it without cost, right? So it's only against us and 3 of our members. The other issue now has to do with the revision of the Sugar Industry Act. Okay.
Yeah.
Now this BSI has found has been able to use that act, right, to keep its control over most of the issues that we have mentioned, right? And this is why we're saying that the act needs to be amended to provide a greater balance between between the functions and the powers of African farmers and the mill. One of the sections, I'll ask Mr. Kemet to explain it better, right, for the act, because he, as a farmer, appreciates this more. It has to deal with 661, right, which they have, BSI has filed a constitutional challenge against the government of Belize in relation to several aspects of the act, because it has always been, from 2015, their intention to deregulate the industry, to get rid of the particular entities like SCPC that help to coordinate after activities.
And we're saying that there needs to be more regulation.
So I'll ask Mr. Kemet to deal with that.
If you could do that in under 30 seconds, which I'm sure is not possible because we do have to wrap up this segment, but we would love to have you guys back as we continue to negotiate as the process continues.
But just for the viewers' sake, wrap it up. Tell us how the revision is going and how we can continue moving forward.
Well, the BSEFA has asked to the government to see on this section 61 in a different approach than BSI. The Belize Sugar Industries is have a suit against this one and this section on the approach of a regulating body. They want a deregulated industry. So what the BSEFA is looking for is that this section opens the opportunity for any other investor that is interested in investing on another mill in the north, and that is primarily the intention of it. That's one of our dreams as BSEFA to go for our own factory. The history has been that the clause says that there is a first option exclusivity for Belize Sugar Industries up to 1.5 million tons of production in place. Wow. And even if we haven't have that production, BSI has never milled 1.5. So, for example, if there is interest in any other farmer, any other manufacturer to place a factory in the north, we should have at least 1.6 or 1.7, and the additional 100 or 200,000 tons that we would have as production, then we would be able to accommodate on the second mill, on the second factory. So what we are asking the government is to remove that 1.5 million exclusivity to allow the competition in the manufacturing side as well. Wow. That is what we, in an ambitious futuristic.
It's a very ambitious
ambition.
And there is a reason. There is another reason why I say this, and Paul, because in the meeting we had with the government, the Prime Minister and the Minister of Agriculture, the Minister of Agriculture made a comment that there has been up to now two investors that have touched the doors of the Ministry of Agriculture. With the interest of investing in a new factory.
I will just say as we close out that right now you don't find a lot of investors wanting to touch the sugar industry with such low yields in terms of the competitiveness on the regional and international market. And so that's another issue that needs to be addressed across the board in terms of
production. I have an answer for that, Paul. The reason is not what you are saying. Right. The reason is because of that clause. Because any investor that wants to invest here, we have to have the production at 1.7, 1.5 over 1.5. So we have 1.3 and we can sell the 1.3. BSI can only process 1.1, 1.2 million tons. So what is the incentive for me to increase my production? Increase my productivity if I can sell my production.
When the farmer is taking that risk, That's why we have most farmers that can't pay their loan, because that can't stay in the field. That is money lost for the whole country, and also worse for the farmers, because they need to recover and pay their investment, and if they can't stay in the field, that's a risk for us.
Gentlemen, I have to wrap up the conversation here, because obviously we could continue.
So they have to come back, as I want to hear about that negotiation.
Yes.
No, it's ambitious. You never hear
Indeed,
about something
April,
like that.
but
And that
we
is
don't
coming
want
from
to
our
encourage
people.
these men to
I didn't
continue
encourage
talking.
do it. We are talking about it after this.
Thank you, Tree. It's always a pleasure to have you on set with us to explain negotiations and this important issue that continues to affect. We're talking about grassroots sugarcane farmers on the ground, and we do hope for the best.
And I hope you haven't forgot the intention of doing a picnic in the sugar industry.
I haven't. Sir, it's good I saw you this morning.
You don't got it. Can I come?
So with that,
we're gonna wrap up. And before we do, we have to introduce the Phoenix Boutique Date Night. Date Night, sorry, it's a new one. Date Night outfit of the week. Check it out.
Welcome to the Phoenix Boutique. Let's get ready for date night. Here we have our Meraki pink clay earrings, our cider corset printed balloon sleeve top, Zara white trousers with golden buttons, Zara studded pink heels, and a Calvin Klein pink leather clutch.
Technology is ubiquitous, and it's transforming how, when, and where we work. Fulltech Systems is placing award-winning devices in the hands of information workers, allowing them to work without compromise in a world without wires, to innovate, create, and to maximize productivity anytime, anywhere, satisfying the needs of the desk-centric remote and field worker and every other worker in between. We are providing the industry's best devices to businesses going through the process of digital transformation. Partner with us today to provide the solutions that will allow your employees to work effectively and efficiently to enhance your customers' experience. Fulltech Systems, your technology center, where you'll come for the price but stay for the service.
Galenia Hospital, located in Cancun, Mexico's premier tourism destination, is a state-of-the-art healthcare facility that provides highly specialized medical services. We are Quintana Roo's biggest private hospital with board-certified doctors and staff. Some of our services include Cath Lab, Adult Intensive Care Unit, Neonatal Intensive Care Unit, emergency rooms, operating theaters, ambulance services, and more. We are a medically accredited hospital by JCI, Accreditation Canada International, and General Health Council, providing extraordinary care in every specialty, from our cardiology department to our neurology center. We are focused on treating the entire person, body, mind, and spirit. Contact us at medicaltourism@hospitalgalenia.com or visit our website at www.hospitalgalenia.com. Come to Galenia Hospital in Cancun for a truly personal medical care experience.
Applying for a Social Security sickness benefit? Here's what you need to know. A complete claims package include 1. Sickness claim form fully completed by the claimant and medical doctor. 2. Salaries record form completed by the employer or HR representative. 3. Proof of bank account such as bank book, online banking, or statement displaying your name and account number. To submit via email, you need to take a clear photo or scan of the documents and email to claims@socialsecurity.org.bz. Be sure to include your full name, social security number, and benefit type in the subject line of the email. Deadline to submit is 14 days from your first day of illness. All forms are available on the website at www.social.org.bz. www.socialsecurity.org.bz. Social Security Board, safeguarding you, your family, your future.
Summer is coming to an end, so let's end it with a bang. Come see kids from all over the country while they take center stage to show off their talent on Open Your Eyes Summerfest 2022. That's right. Mark your calendars. Friday, August 26th at 6:30 a.m. at Channel 5 on Coney Drive. Come and start your morning right with kids singing and dancing. Also, come take advantage of great food, entertainment, and loads of back-to-school giveaways, including gifts for the first 100 kids who enter the fest. And the best thing of all, entrance is free. So, what are you waiting for? Set your alarm and pencil in that date because Summerfest 2022 is one event you don't want to miss.
And we are back with our second conversation for this morning. Joining us in studio, all about Pucte Villas, or villas, right? Villas, my bad. Talking, I'm sorry, it comes out. And the Pucte Property Expo. In studio with us, we have Daniela Cancino, who is the Senior Accountant Clerk at Pucte Villas. Good morning, Daniela.
Good morning.
And then we have Miroslava Loskot Barasa, who is the part-time owner of Pucte Villas. Good morning, ladies. All right,
Morning.
so tell us all about Pucte Villas. Where is it? What are we discussing this morning? Why are we promoting the property?
Okay, well, I want to start off by introducing the company. It's Loskot Enterprises Limited. It's a family-owned real estate development company in Orange Walk. And we have two subdivisions. We have one north of Orange Walk town. It's called Pucte Villas, as you mentioned. And Pucte is, let me just say this, Pucte means bullet tree in Maya, for those who don't know. Yes, we have a lot of beautiful Pucte trees in the area. So that's the reason why we gave it that beautiful name. We also have another subdivision in Consejo. But today we're going to talk more about Pucte Villas and the expo, the property expo that we're having. And
all right, so let's dive right into what a property expo looks like. We usually hear business expos, but when we're talking property expos, what are we talking about in terms of venue and what visitors can expect when they attend the expo?
Okay, well, it's going to be our first time. I've always wanted to do this, but you know, it takes a lot of planning. And it had to be the right time. I think right now, it's the right time. I'm just watching the weather and I'm praying because next weekend is already the 28th. It's on a Sunday where we're having this, when we're having this event. And so I'm hoping that the weather holds up because we have so much more we want to accomplish before the property expo. We decided to have it so that we can show people what Pucte Villas is all about. We will take people around so that they can choose their lot or lots, start their investment right away and get a feel for the area. You know, it's the ideal place to have a family, to, you know, build your house, have a home. And so that's the reason why we decided we're going to have this property expo. It's mainly to promote Puctevillas, really.
So look at the layout and look at where you are looking for people to purchase the property. You know, how many acres? Are we even looking at acres? What is the layout like?
We have, well, we are developing Puctevillas in phases. We have phase 1, phase 2 right now. And then eventually we will be getting into phase 3 and phase 4. But right now we are concentrating mostly on phase 1.
Okay.
So the lots have different sizes. We have 60 by 100, 70 by 140. So it depends. Prices really depend on the size of the lot and the location. And then we will also be promoting phase 2 as well. Phase 2 is located by the highway. And we have many people inquiring about phase 2. So right now we will be promoting phase 2, the lots. And they have very good prices. It's a very good investment. We offer payment plans. So people can afford it. You leave a deposit and then it depends on how much you can afford. Then we work a payment plan. It can be up to 5 years. Yes, so it can be up to 5 years.
So I guess it kind of comes back to what Paul was asking earlier about what can a person expect at the expo. So when you're going to a regular pop-up shop or a regular expo, you're seeing these tangible things that I can purchase. So what am I supposed to be looking at?
Okay, so we're going to have the expo at our court. Let me just describe Puctevillas a bit more.
Perfect.
We have so many amenities.
Tell us why we should invest. Why is this the place that I as a first-time landowner, I want to invest in, or as somebody who wants to invest in a property to build my family, why should I
Well, first of all, today the weather is terrible. We were coming, it was flooding all over. Puctevillas is not flooded. So number one, thank you.
Very highlands, yes, very highlands.
Done sold already.
And it's safe from hurricanes as well. It's very safe, it's tranquil, it's family oriented, it's charming, enchanting. I like to use the word enchanting. That's
So
my word.
looking at some of the photos and it's very beautiful.
Thank you. So yes, and we have, like I said, we have so many amenities to offer. But before we get to the amenities, the infrastructure, we already have electricity there, water, internet, cable, everything is set. We have wide streets, good drainage, which you can afford, and we keep on improving on the drainage. So, and then when it comes to amenities, we have magnificent park and playground with swings and slides and a very nice gazebo for leisure time if you want to throw a party there or read a book. We have
the basketball court.
We have an international
it's a multi-purpose court. Yes.
Basketball, volleyball, and tennis court. And that's where we're going to have the expo. So I must mention that some of the banks will be there. Yes.
What will they be there to do?
Okay, so we finance the lots, right? We finance lots. They come in because of the houses. That's where they come in, correct. So I know that we have Belize Bank. They have already confirmed to be there. And Atlantic Bank and La Maclada Credit Union. So I'm sure they're preparing great packages for everyone who who's ready to either buy a lot from them or through them or build a house.
What has the initial interest been like in Puctevillas?
Oh, great. Honestly, we did most of our sales during this pandemic time.
Wow. Interesting, because you would imagine that right now people don't have the finances.
But they're smart, see? They're smart because with the inflation right now, you want to invest in property. Property is the only thing that appreciates. See?
So then let's talk a bit about that aspect. I know you mentioned it briefly earlier, but in the pandemic time, affordability? Are we making it accessible and affordable in this time?
Yes, we are, because we are just asking like right now for 2,500 deposit. We have very affordable lots from 28,000, 29, 30,000, and then on phase 2, then we have for 40,500.
Wow.
So our the deposit is just 2,500. If we work, let's say, with a 28,000 lot for 5 years, then you will just be making like 492.99 monthly payment.
Yeah. Wow.
So that's very, very affordable. Yes.
You say payment, but like you say, it's an investment because property is the only thing that appreciates over time. And at the end of the day, April, when you own a piece of property, that money that you've invested is still there. So you haven't given it away. You've basically made an exchange of value. So when you have a piece of land, you basically have that money still, but you have it in land.
Invested.
But this is the thing that you're not only acquiring a piece of land or investing in a piece of land just anywhere in the middle of nowhere.
Yes.
You're investing at Pukta Villas, a very nice community. It's not gated. We are trying to make it, or eventually probably it's going to be gated, but it's fenced and we have security and it's safe and it's
That's a lot.
Remember all the infrastructure that we have, and we do have future projects in mind. Maybe I can mention some of them. So we want to put a covering, a dome over the court, and then we want to build a nice country club for members only, and a pool. And one that I'm excited about.
I got to try to figure out, calculate my finance. The 350 we're having on my bank account.
I remember everything will be affordable. You know, yes. And not only that, but I'm excited because we want to also work on a plant nursery and a charming botanical garden.
But all of these new features and these upcoming projects, do you see that the properties will eventually increase in value?
But right now, 28,000, believe you me, it doesn't worth 28,000.
No, they have very high appraisal values.
Extremely high. So they worth like maybe 50. And the reason for that is because the area comes with a restrictive code of covenants. And I believe that it's because of that we are able to sell more. Or people
what
are
does that
investing
mean? What is
more.
a restrictive code of covenants?
So we are saying that it comes with the title. First of all, the restrictive agreement comes with the title. We are saying we have certain rules and regulations that you have to follow. Some of them being that you can't have or you can't grow any farm animals, so only domestic animals. No chicken and pig.
You can't have a goat. I'm sorry.
And we're saying we want you to keep your lot clean at all time, nicely manicured. We are saying that you can't have a garage, a mechanical garage, in the area. It has to be
a residential area.
It has to be for residential purposes only.
No
and
commercial
single
living.
dwelling.
No commercial.
Right. Single dwelling. You can't go and cut up your lots like, give me auntie half of it. Right? And
it also has like a minimum square footage for your house.
Okay.
It has to be like 1,200 square feet.
That's what we ask for. It can't be movable home, So it has to be a permanent foundation. But apart from that,
As we wind down, let's talk about how many properties do you have available in this phase?
Okay, so Diane mentioned that we have them in phases, right? So phase 1 can be accessed. Yes, I don't think we mentioned where exactly it's located. So you can access phase 1 from San Martin Street. There's a gas station, Uno gas station. You come down that street, maybe about 3 blocks, and then we're on the right-hand side.
Okay.
So that's phase 1's entrance, right? And phase 1 has about 200 and something lots. I have already sold about 175. And I don't have 175 houses there yet. But trust me, people are, and the reason for that is because people are paying on a monthly basis. So I still have a good number left to sell in phase 1, and then we're also promoting phase 2, right? Which can be accessed on the highway, but we have a...
So let's get back to the expo because we're
Okay.
running out of time. So it's going to be next week, Sunday the
Yes,
28th.
not this coming Sunday,
Yes.
but the following Sunday, the 28th, from 9 to 5.
Yeah, and it's going to be on the basketball court.
Basketball court, we're going to have, after taking care of business, after showing people around and having people choose their lots, they can, and we take care of business, then they can go by the court and enjoy the rest of the day, because we're going to have complimentary food and drinks, orange rock tacos. You guys are going to go?
I'm going to get some tacos. But you are going to be showing the property.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, definitely.
So they have to be there before 9 o'clock.
Yeah, sure.
Get there on time, showcase the property.
Yes, exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
And so they're going to be walking the
all
grounds,
during
seeing
the
what you
day,
have to
I'm going to
offer.
be showing the properties to all the different available lots.
All right.
To all the potential clients.
And do you have to sign up somewhere, or can I just show up?
No, you can just show up, and then we will have our booth.
Okay.
We will have our booth. Diana will be there.
Along with the other financial institutions.
Correct.
All right.
And
presentation.
I'm sorry?
Are you going to give a presentation?
Yes, we're going to give a presentation. Sure.
I'm very curious to see what a property expo looks like because I've never been to one.
Then you should visit April.
I should visit, maybe get one at in the
Be ready to invest.
Believe you
Wise
me,
investment.
believe you me, the place sells itself.
Yeah.
Pucta Villas sells itself,
Well, we
honestly.
were seeing the pictures and it's lovely.
Thank
but,
you so much, yes.
All right, so the 28th August, 9 o'clock at Pucta Villas at the
It's
basketball
a Sunday
court.
because
It's
some
a
people
Sunday.
are thinking it's Saturday. It's Sunday, and I chose Sunday so they can bring out the entire family.
Oh, nice. I love that. Well, thank you, ladies, so much for
Oh,
stopping
sorry.
by. Yes, go ahead.
We're going to have more things. Sorry, I forgot about the bouncy house, and we're going to have face painting.
Oh, so
it's all
like
about the kids. So it's a whole
Yes.
family affair. Yes.
All right. So thank you, ladies,
Thank you, ladies.
for
Thank you for
coming
having us.
on. So what we'll be doing now, as I understand it, before we taking a break, we'll be calling in to one of our weather persons, one of our NEMO personnel on the ground, I believe in Belize Rural, and they will be giving us an update on what's happening out there. And so we've seen images of, we've actually seen videos of the situation out there in Crooked Tree area along the causeway. This what we're showing right now
looks clearer
is
than
the manhole that's on
Yeah, there it is.
near Biscayne. So that's what we're seeing right now. You guys
Yes,
saw
yeah,
that,
so
right?
they-
Because
they
you were
came
coming
in
down from
and,
the north.
Also, the Cañeros also saw it as well.
Yeah,
when they were
so
coming in.
that's, you could see how dangerous that is. And so I would imagine you guys have to be cautious.
But
You
I
ladies.
wasn't driving because I would have head back home.
Yeah, you would have.
Did you better drive? Oh, no.
It's because it's an area where it's a culvert across the road, and you could see where the culvert has been compromised.
Yes.
This what
All
we're
right, we
seeing
have him
here
on
is
the
the
line.
Crooked Tree Causeway.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
We're talking to Mr. Lionel Smith, correct?
Yes, speaking.
All right, Mr. Smith, what can you tell us about your works currently on the ground in Belize Rural?
In regards to NEMO?
Yeah, in regards to NEMO.
Okay, well, currently we have been up since 5:30 a.m. We have some flooding up in the rural areas. We have flooding out in Crooked Tree specifically. There are some families that have been moved to the shelter. Am I on air?
You are on air.
Oh, okay, yeah. So we have 10 adults and 6 children that have been evacuated to the Crooked Tree disaster shelter. Because we have some flooding out there in Crooked Tree, some homes has taken on water, and also some of the roadways has been inundated with water. So currently we have 10 adults and 6 children in the Crooked Tree disaster shelter facility.
Tell us.
And we also...
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Yes. And we have some minor flooding out in the Sun Hill areas. We have flooding in the Gardena and Biscayne. Some properties have taken on water. And we also have some some water out there in the Fresh Pan area, as well out there in Boom area, the Fresh Pan area. So there's quite a few many people have been affected so far with the water, no?
Tell us
the rain.
Tell us a bit about accessibility to Crooked Tree at this point in time by way of the causeway.
Well, the causeway is still accessible, just that the roadway has taken on water. The bridge itself is still passable, just that the roadway, well, I think that's what we call the causeway.
Yeah.
The causeway has taken on water, no?
Okay,
so,
what can you tell us about the compromise we have on the Philip Golson Highway? I believe it's somewhere near Biscayne.
Yeah, well, there apparently some pothole has created there. I think it was a small hole then with the vehicle passage and stuff like that, and the recent rain, the pothole has just kind of like gated a little bit, and it's just, you know, has gotten bigger.
Yeah,
so
that's
I think,
huge.
The MIDH people is out there right now.
Are we allowing motorists to pass at this time? What is the advice being given on the ground? Are you aware?
Well, I just left from out there. The MIDH people are out there because that's under their purview, not that's their responsibility. So the people from MIDH are out there. They are assessing the situation. They are diverting the traffic. So it's still possible.
So, right.
Like the pothole is like on one side of the road, no? So it's still possible, and they are handling the traffic situation out there.
So where to next for you, Mr. Smith?
Well, then we have activated our EOC, our Emergency Operation Center has been activated in Belize Rural, and I'm making my way back to that location as we speak. So we have activated our Rural Emergency Operating Center. We have activated. So we have the different committee members coming in, and we will be assessing the different affected areas and see how we can get humanitarian assistance.
So tell us about the areas where people can seek shelter in the most affected rural communities.
Well, the different villages have their respective approved shelter where shelterees can seek shelter. For instance, I just mentioned the Crooked Tree Disaster Center. We have a couple more buildings there that is approved. In the rural areas, we have the Bell Rib Center in Dublin Landing. We have the Doublehead Community Center. We have the Baboon Sanctuary. So we have quite a number of shelters that people can go to seek shelter. No?
All right, Mr. Smith, well, thank you for your time this morning, sir. We appreciate the 5-minute conversation with you, and stay safe and continue to do the good work you're doing out there.
Thank you, and you stay safe too.
All right, thank you. So there you had it from Mr. Lionel Smith, who is the NEMA coordinator for Belize Rural. He made mention of some 10 families in shelter over there at Crooked Tree Village. He also spoke about some other shelters that are currently open in areas where communities and residents are being severely affected. As we understand it, that manhole caused by the flood in the area of Biscayne along the Philip Golson Highway, that we have a Ministry of Housing Infrastructure Development on the ground, that they are guiding traffic. So it appears at this point, as severe as those images may look and unsafe as they may look, that there is still possible, and you're still having commuters traverse that area.
But please, if you are commuting and traveling, try your best to be safe. You don't need to be speeding, because right now the way that water is rising, the way the traffic is being held up, you will run into problems. So just stay safe. Keep a good speed on that highway. And
what we're seeing there, April, is Ladyville. Much wasn't said about Ladyville, but even from the BSCFA folks, they were telling us that vehicles were shutting down, small vehicles were shutting down on the highway in Ladyville due to the flooding. So keep that in mind. You see, traffic is almost at a standstill, but really what you're doing is just moving at a slow pace to kind of navigate. Now what we're seeing there is a flooded area also That's here in Belize City. So that's
bus terminal. That bus terminal.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So we're not going home today.
That's the bus terminal. There is underwater. People are walking through the water because man call off work. Call off work because people have to walk.
Listen. The show must go on, but also be safe. If you don't need to be trekking inside the building, don't. For those of you that are taking public transportation, that is what it looks like right now from Belize City. So just do your best to be safe. Trekking through those waters is dangerous as well. So wherever you are, wherever you're commuting, do your best to be safe. If you don't need to go somewhere, if it's not urgent, stay home.
Yeah. All right. So April, we'll take that break. And we will come back with our final conversation. We have the Queen of the Bay.
I hope those ladies are here because the way that weather looks like. They're here. Okay.
So stay tuned.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
With eCash, bill payment is extremely convenient, and all utility companies accept eCash payments. What's even better? You get to split bills with your roommates, siblings, or whoever you desire. Simply open your eCash app, go to Bill Pay, tap the respective utility company, enter the information, and pay the bill. Then tap the transaction made. Tap Split the bill. Select Evenly. Send the request to who you are splitting the bill with, and get notified when they pay. Talk about making life easy and avoiding confusion. You can split the bill for restaurants, grocery stores, and for any eCash payment you make. To find your next yummy meal, hair treatment, or chill spot, simply open the app and utilize the geolocation service to see nearby businesses that accept eCash. Geolocation and bill payment make life a whole lot easier.
Have you been searching for a premier parcel of land in a safe and enchanted community? Well, Pukta Villas subdivision in Orange Walk is your answer. Come and choose your prime home estate at the Pukta Villas Property Expo, Sunday, August 28th from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Pukta Villas Park next to Trial Farm Village. This is one event you don't want to miss. There will be amazing promotions on lots and services on that day only. Let us show you the spectacular amenities this master plan subdivision offers. Don't miss out on the complimentary food, drinks, face painting, bouncy house, and much more. Bring your family to an atmosphere of refinement and comfort. For more information, call 610-3182. Pukta Villas, a true residential paradise offering more.
We were born connected to the water, the deep blue, the soil, the salt air, sheer abundance, ritual, water, expectation of the catch, the wind and waves. What lay beneath filled our bellies, sustained our communities. But song fell to a whisper. Her rituals were lost. Communities changed. But now, that song beckons us back to the sea. The generations that came before, and for the generations still to come. Thriving, abundant sea is possible. Rebuilding fish populations can be our legacy.
Download the SmartStream app on the Android Play Store and create your account to get access to movies and stream at home or on the go. Prepaid customers can purchase regular data packages or get a discounted rate on a special SmartStream package by dialing 7737. Postpaid customers will be billed monthly. Never miss a movie again with SmartStream.
KTV.
Vote for your favorite KTV contestant by texting the number of votes followed by a space, then your contestant's number, and send it to Smart Code 5885. Here are this week's contestants.
The smile on your face lets me know that you need me. There's a truth in your eyes saying you'll never.
Oh, and he don't know that I dug my key into the side of his pretty little souped-up four-wheel drive. They said I bet they'll never make it, but just look at us holding on.
Never felt a feeling quite this strong. I can't believe how much it turns me on just to be your man.
Remember, voting ends on Sunday at midnight. And don't forget to tune in every Tuesday live only on 5.
Been drinking all night, feeling so high. Better not drive, won't even try.
Been drinking all night, feeling so high. Better not drive, ain't gon' try. Been drinking all night, feeling so high. Better not drive, ain't gon' try. If you're drinking and driving, I'm not going with ya. If you're drinking and driving, I'm not going with ya. People die every day, I'm not going with ya. I'ma find my own way, I'm not going with ya. It's okay, I'll wait. Even good people make mistakes. I don't wanna realize when it's too late. Drinking and driving is never safe. If you're drinking and driving, I'm not going with ya. If you're drinking and driving, I'm not going with ya. Been drinking all night, feeling so high. Better not drive, ain't gon' try. Been drinking all night, feeling so high. Better not drive, ain't gon' try.
Summer is coming to an end, so let's end it with a bang. Come see kids from all over the country while they take center stage to show off their talent on Open Your Eyes Summerfest 2022. That's right. Mark your calendars. Friday, August 26th at 6:30 a.m. at Channel 5 on Coney Drive. Come and start your morning right with kids singing and dancing. Also, come take advantage of great food, entertainment, and loads of back-to-school giveaways, including gifts for the first 100 kids who enter the fest. And the best thing of all, entrance is free. So, what are you waiting for? Set your alarm and pencil in that date because Summerfest 2022 is one event you don't want to miss.
So class, let's review your homework. What are some of the things that we can do to make sure everyone has a clean and reliable supply of water?
Sir, we should turn off the faucet when using soap to bathe, to wash our hands, and maybe even our cars. This will cut our water bills and save us a lot of water.
My dad says we should keep the area around the water pipes close to our houses clean.
Yes, sir. We should encourage our parents to pay their water bills so the entire village will always have clean water.
Right, class. We should not forget to attend water board meetings and add our 2 cents. Make sure everyone has reliable, clean water.
My mom says that we young people can volunteer to paint the public water pipe.
So, how do we make sure we will always have reliable, clean water?
Join the Clean Water Revolution.
Get involved today and do your part to keep your water supply clean and reliable.
The Department of Rural Development is working on achieving Goal 6 of the Sustainable Development Goals, which is to ensure access to water and sanitation for all.
And we are back, and we have a full stage this morning for you all. As we had mentioned early on, that we have the delegates of the Queen of the Bay along with our reigning queen this morning. So ladies, I will give you all the pleasure to introduce yourselves and, you know, why you are entering in this pageant. So we'll start with this side here.
Good morning, beautiful Belize. I hope you are enjoying a little bit of pouring blessings outside. Just remember, the rainbow comes after the rain. I'm Ariane Novello. I am representing our nation's capital city, Belmopan. I decided to join this pageant because it's not merely a dream of mine that has been happening, but of course it fruited from me serving my community. I think I go into a deeper level with them, being able to go around my community, meet the little ones there, the eldest people there. Anything that Belmopan has to do with me, I will be there.
Right.
Good morning, Belize. My name is Tiana Olivera, and I'm representing the Toledo district. I joined this pageant because I wanted to show patriotism for my country, and it has been a great experience so far. Thank you for having us here this morning.
Good morning. My name is Alicia Martinez, and I am representing San Ignacio Santa Elena. The West are the best, as you all know.
Okay.
Yes. So I saw the need to enter this pageant because before COVID, I was very reserved, and I wanted to advocate in my community. So my platform is Afrocentrism and environmental safety, and I plan to use my platform to push and advocate in my community.
All right. Rochelle?
Good morning, Belize. My name is Rochelle Bob, and I'm representing the Belize district. I decided to join this pageant simply because of what it represents, and I believe that I can be an advocate for expressive arts to decrease the crime and violence rate. So that would be a reason why I joined this pageant. And I definitely believe my platform can be implemented in our community for the best, and if it is to be, it starts with me.
All right.
Good morning, Belize. My name is Kelsey Zatina, and I am representing the Corozal district. I decided to take part in the pageant so that I can be a positive role model for young ladies, and I believe that it will open doors with bigger opportunities so that I can do more for my country and my community.
Lovely.
Good morning, Belize. I hope you're all excited since our talent segment is over and you're all looking forward to the pageant on Saturday. I am Maslin Hanson, proudly representing the Stan Creek district. I decided to take part in this pageant because it was on my bucket list for a long time. I know everyone that knows me knows Maslin is always speaking about going up for Queen of the Bay. But this year I actually took the initiative to go up, and I believe being community involved, this pageant has opened me to more exposure and networking so I can push my platform, which has already been implemented within the communities.
Wow.
And our
reigning queen.
You don't have to say why you got.
No, but Jewel Jones, talk to us a little bit about what it's been like for your experiences and maybe what advice you have to offer these ladies.
Good morning, Belize. I hope you are enjoying the weather. You know, it's rainy and it's wet. It has its blessings, like what Ariane said. This is a special moment and a special experience for me because last year I did not get to experience all the activities and the courtesy visits, and this year I get to build a bond with these girls while we're visiting the Prime Minister and the Governor General, and that has been very inspiring to see, you know, these are the leaders and the pillars of our country, and to hear them speak, and that's on a personal level, because even though we were meeting in a professional setting, all of them were so down to earth. I was amazing one. It reminds me that they are humans, and I think that's important for people to know that we all have emotions, we all have feelings, and we have to meet on that human to human level.
Let's talk a bit about the takeaways from some of the activities that has taken place over the last few days. I know you had the sashing on Saturday. Sunday. You had the sashing on Sunday. You've met with the Prime Minister. You've met with the Leader of the Opposition. You've met with the Governor General as well. So ladies, don't rush. Take your time. But speak a bit about some of the takeaways, at least something that you've taken away from either your experience with the GG, with the Prime Minister, with the Leader of the Opposition.
Anybody can chime in.
Yes. Something that they all mentioned is that they're learning every day. And sometimes we fail to realize that we don't know everything. And even these people in high positions, these honors, the Governor General, the Prime Minister, Deputy Prime Minister, they admit to us that they're learning. And we expect them to know almost everything because, well, they're in high positions.
They're leaders, right?
Yes, and like what Queen Joelle said, they are very down to earth. And they're very honest and they're very genuine. So that has been really inspirational to me, and I'll hold that dear to my heart after Saturday. Win, lose, or draw.
Anybody else?
I really appreciated all the push for women empowerment that all these leaders had, especially Dame Fuela Salam. She sat there and she spoke to us, and the way she articulated her words, it really was heartwarming. So that was something that really pushed the delegates, you know, we're female, we can lead also, and we can move and have progression.
All right. One more person.
Yeah. For me, it was a privilege meeting our leaders of Belize. They are the ones who, you know, make policies, put the rules in place, or just carry on with them. And to know that, I mean, I'm not going to choose sides ever, but meeting them made me know that they not only want to thrive, they want to thrive with the people of Belize, and that's a big position to carry. I mean, I personally wouldn't go there, but my commendation goes out to them.
So I want to talk about the journey so far. You've been talking about interactions and how you guys have been moving in this journey together. It's not about just you. It is a competition, but the journey is one for the entire group. Talk to us about what you've learned from each other going through on this pageant.
Let's go with Miss Talia.
Well, it has really been a great journey. Even though it's a competition, we don't take it as a competition. Friendship is developing, sisterhood is developing, and everyone has been so nice and supportive. So that I'm forever grateful for, because man, if it wasn't for them, I would have been through so many mental breakdowns. But they have always been there for me, and thanks, guys.
Yes. Let me just add to what she says. On the talk show earlier, we were talking about how she was so resilient, and she inspired me to be like that, because we all go through so much and we forget sometimes that we're human and things happen. So when I look at them and I see how they overcome so many things, and they just want to do better no matter the circumstances, just they encourage me to want to be like that. So I definitely learned from them. You need to be resilient because things happen, and you have to get uncomfortable sometimes. That is a quote I go by. You have to be uncomfortable or get comfortable in uncomfortable circumstances.
Can we have Miss
Corazal?
Well, like Tiana said, we are all building a sisterhood, and we're learning from each other every single day, something new, something different. And I believe that what we're learning here will take along our journey. And I believe that when we are finished from this competition, we still will be in touch with each other.
You know, I wanted to touch a bit on that, just to talk a bit about lessons we're teaching each other, or the bond we're building in the event that controversy arises. We just know there's controversy that surrounds pageantry often, but there's also the story of the group of women keeping that bond and keeping their relationship. How do we navigate controversy? What's the lesson in terms of navigating controversy, in terms of navigating negativity, to keep and rise above it and rise above the negative? What would you say that would be?
Well, being that we're going up for Queen of the Day, we should act queenly-like. So I don't believe that should be an issue that we have negative thoughts about the other delegate. We should have that mentality that we're all queens because we are. We are queens and ambassador for our district. So we must treat everyone like that, no matter the circumstances.
For me, I'd say it goes back to what Ms. Tankrick said about women empowerment. I think it goes further than just a sash and a crown. We as women, we must be supportive of each other. And I recall in the week, I believe the Governor General said, in the women's field, her greatest enemy is another woman.
Wow.
And I can say
Yes, of
something
course.
too. We have to be each other's keepers, especially living in a country as these. So we have to look out for each other. That's something that we tend to forget. At the end of the day, it's not our decision. It's not the committee's decision. It's the judge's decision. So we have to respect that and just support the delegate that is chosen.
I have one more question before we wrap up, and this is just, a personal question. How do you curtsy? Seriously, right? Because that's part of the competition, right? Doing the proper curtsy. So how are you?
How to guide, April?
Yes, there's a how to guide, Paul. How dare you? How do you curtsy? What are you doing to prepare your calves?
Squat. A lot of workouts. Squat. A lot of
Is
squat.
that really a part of your daily routine?
Yes.
Like you get up and some at the
You have to.
And especially if you're taking your time.
I love how they all school you right now. It's wonderful to see, but yes.
Attempt the curtsy without working out and exercise.
I've never tried to attempt the curtsy.
But it's not just curtsying. There's you have to position your foot in a certain way, and then there's a ball gown involved, and then you have to balance
And your arms and your shoulders up, chin up, smile.
There's a whole
it's a lot
thing.
of multitasking.
So you guys are athletes as well. Queen of the Babe contestants are athletes.
And they're doing it in high heels.
Yeah.
Wow.
We do it.
Wow, that's incredible. All of that training for that one night.
All of that training for that one moment, and it takes so long. I've been watching. Oh, who is the best one?
No, it's not the best.
Oh yes, demonstrate. Please. Would you like to do a demonstration? Can she?
Let's see.
The mic? You can hold it.
Yeah, you just hold it in your hand.
You can hold it.
Yeah.
And then you face the camera.
This is the camera.
That one right there.
So much.
That one, that middle one.
All right. So, what you start first? What's the first
Put your leg in the back, whatever one you feel comfortable with.
Okay.
Start with your arms here. Then you bend your knees. You take your time. I'm doing it a little bit fast, so you take your time. You extend your arms forward.
Okay.
And as you're going down, it opens up.
Okay.
Usually you hold a rose, or sometimes you just use your hands like these.
So extend your wings.
Yes, you do.
Okay.
I'm going a bit fast, and I'm not
It's okay,
going all the
that's
way
okay.
down. This is a half curtsy.
Okay.
So I stop here, and then you get up back, and then your arms are coming in.
Wow.
Are
You
you
see
ever
why the squats are important?
Right. Are you ever nervous that you may fall either on the way down or on the way up, that you may trip over?
Oh, well, that's the goal, what not to do.
And then you finish. A round of applause.
That was good.
Thank you so much for the demonstration. But you see why the squat is important? No?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can't just get up and do that because it will not work out.
So let's talk about the show. When is the show? Where is the show?
How do I get tickets?
How do you get tickets?
Okay, so the show is this Saturday, August 20th at the Bliss, starting at 7 o'clock for our Belizeans who follow Belizean time, 6 o'clock. Tickets can be purchased at the door. And also we have our DigiWallet who is offering 10% discount if you purchase a ticket from that medium. So take advantage of that. I would also like to take this time to thank my supporters as well, because people have come along from the beginning of this journey and they're still here. So I want to thank Giselle and Neil Bass. I also want to thank Waxy Wonders, Renewed by Sabrina, and everybody who was with me from last year and still to this point, because I'm telling them, encourage them to stay on board. Stay on board. You know, I'm leaving, but stay on board because they can support other girls and make opportunities happen for them.
I'm sure you're excited. You're excited to pass on that crown on Saturday
It's
night.
a mixture of emotions, to be honest. It's a mixture of emotions. I'm having a hard time to write my final address because I want it to be impactful and capture this year and what I'm experiencing now and what they year has been like.
The official crowning comes after, right?
On the 10th of September.
On the 10th of
right.
September
So on the night,
celebrations.
the queen won't be crowned on that night.
Yes.
It's the official ceremony.
Okay.
Well, you know what? I give my kudos to you ladies for taking. You all are young, ambitious women, and I feel that whosoever takes the crown will have a huge impact on their entire country.
But April, I also want to remind them what Rochelle said, that they're all queens.
They're all queens.
So regardless, and then what Miss Santa Elena San
Ignacio. Wow, you had
San
to cause controversy.
You're not doing justice to my people. You're not.
I'm sorry. It's not about the sash. It's not only about the sash and about the crown. That is about the representation you give for your communities.
At the end of the day, they're all queens, and they all have to take my introduction to Belizean history class at UB.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I will be seeing you all later. Yeah, I'm aware.
Or take a part of Moaz too, because
Yes.
I was the only female, so take part.
Yes,
Moaz.
take pause, debate, do all the things that will continue to develop your characters as you grow. So ladies, thank you so much for being here this morning. Give your wave to the people. You can wave to Paul.
Well, that was practice.
And with that, we're going to take our final break and we'll be back for a wrap up. So stay tuned.
I'm always on the go, and the country is my home. So when I want to get away from it all, I immerse myself with my favorite movies, all from the new SmartStream app. It's easy to use this service. Purchase your movies from the app and use your mobile data, SmartStream data packages, or smart broadband to stream and enjoy. Be like me and stream on the go with SmartStream.
Thank you for supporting us throughout our journey over the years. Thank you for helping us to expand and improve our products and services. Thank you for allowing us to form new partnerships and develop new and exciting promotions. And thank you for being patient with us during these changing times. As we continue our journey, we would like to say thank you for giving us the opportunity to serve you.
Venice, celebrating 75 years. Quality and savings. Quality and savings.
Your life just got a lot less complicated with Belize Bank Contactless MasterCard Debit Card. Introducing our Standard Debit and MasterCard Platinum Debit Cards. Now you can make purchases anywhere MasterCard is accepted with one tap, pay and go. Your contactless card never has to leave your hands, especially in these times. And your card is embedded with multiple layers of security. Platinum card holders get to enjoy extra benefits like price protection, purchase protection, trip inconvenience, and luggage protection, just to name a few. Start enjoying a cashless lifestyle today with the Belize Bank.
Summer is coming to an end, so let's end it with a bang. Come see kids from all over the country while they take center stage to show off their talent on Open Your Eyes Summerfest 2022. That's right. Mark your calendars, Friday, August 26th at 6:30 a.m. at Channel 5 on Coney Drive. Come and start your mind and right with kids singing and dancing. Also, come take advantage of great food, entertainment, and loads of back-to-school giveaways, including gifts for the first 100 kids who enter the fest. And the best thing of all, entrance is free. So, what are you waiting for? Set your alarm and pencil in that date because Summerfest 2022 is one event you don't want to miss.
are back with our end of our Thursday, Friday Junior here on OYE.
Yes.
And, you know, we want to say a big thank you to all of our guests for coming in and sitting with us, having these conversations that are so important. The folks from the Belize Sugarcane Farmers Association, you know, I think we'll have them back because that conversation needs to continue with negotiations with BSI ASR. And of course, we had the ladies from Puc de Villas who were here to talk about their property expo on the 28th of August. So you don't want to miss that.
And then, of course, the beautiful Queen of the Bay delegates and reigning queen, they were in studios with us this morning to discuss that pageant that takes place on this Saturday.
Yeah, this Saturday, the 28th.
At the Bliss Center Performing Arts. Tickets will be available on sale at the door. We love pageants in Belize, so
You know,
I'm sure
Paul learned a great lesson this morning about curtsy.
which is you have to wake up every morning and
do
do
50 squats. 50 squats. But we also want to thank you for waking up this morning in this strange weather that we're having here and opening your eyes and starting your morning right here with us on Channel 5. If you have any questions or concern, you can always drop us a line right here at oye@channel5belize.com, or you can catch us on our live stream on Facebook at Open Your Eyes BZ or on Instagram at OYE Belize. You can tune in tomorrow when you open your eyes.
And start your morning right.
Be sure to keep your eyes, your minds,
and your hearts open.
We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day, Belize. Stay dry.
Peace.
Open Your Eyes was brought to you by the Belize Bank. Our country, your bank.